So you say you want to learn how to make money listing donated real estate. Is that even a thing? Do people donate real estate? Who donates real estate? How can a realtor make money listing donated real estate? Let's talk about that tonight, because tomorrow there is a masterclass, and this is kind of the precursor. This is the appetizer. Now, the masterclass tomorrow is free because it is our 3-year anniversary. We are super excited to have perfected our craft and have a special, great way to find the property donors. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. So let me share my screen and get right into how real estate agents can make money listing donated real estate. Now, we call these legacy listings because every gift of real estate, in order to pull the equity out of the real estate to give to the nonprofit world, we got to sell it. And the way we sell it is by listing it with a real estate agent at a full commission. And it leaves legacy for the nonprofit, for the realtor, and for the donor. Now, our book, Real Estate is Hot, Fundraising is Not. We invite you to get a free copy of that book right here at therock.com/Cami Baker. Now, notice how we spell it. RAOC stands for Real Agent of Change, the RAOC.com. And not only is it a digital version of the book, but the audio is part of it too. So you can always listen to it. Now, this is one of the stories that we like to start with. There is a even bigger and better story that just happened this past week that you'll be seeing in the masterclass tomorrow. But this is an example of someone who is cash conservative and asset abundant. Friends, your neighbor could be cash conservative and asset abundant with just a second home in the Poconos or a second lot, or maybe even their primary residence. But gifts of real estate have been happening all over this country for over 100 years. And we just want you to know we're all only, they say, 6 degrees of separation from anyone. So if the nonprofits you care about will let their donors know that they can benefit from real estate, you can list it. Now, you see, we are the Rock Revolution. This is not a movement. It is a revolution. Revolutions happen when a whole new way of being needs to emerge. And we are created, are doing our thing because they are all worthy causes. Animals, children, veterans, universities, churches, all of them can benefit from gifts of real estate. Now, this is one of our analogies about the difference between a fundraiser and getting funded from gifts of real estate. The average bake sale, listen, bake sales, barbecues, ballroom functions, car shows, golf tournaments, GoFundMe accounts, raffle tickets. I even went to a drag queen meat raffle to support a nonprofit, a couple of them in New England. If there is a raffle ticket and a basket to be created to give it a raffle, I've been a part of it. I get it, and we're all doing all these fundraisers. But the thing is, a bake sale brings in an average of $600. All these galas that we do, profit margin's only 30 to 50%. But if you look at the black box over on the left, the average money funding that goes to the nonprofit from a gift of real estate on average is $600,000. So instead of going to the well and getting a bucket of water every time we're thirsty, the analogy is the nonprofit is needing funding. So they do a fundraiser and they get a bucket of cash. But then once that bucket's empty, they got to go do another fundraiser and get another bucket of cash. But then that bucket's empty and they keep doing it and doing it and doing it. It's what we've done hundreds of years now. But to create a pipeline, think about a pipeline. You turn the spigot on when you want some water. That's what charitable gifting of real estate can provide for nonprofit. Now, just a little bit, sorry, I had a video, just a little bit about the story of what brings us here today, because you might be thinking, well, how come I've never heard of this before? And why are you bringing it up now? Well, my story starts back when I became a real estate agent, gosh, about 20 years or so ago now at this point. That was my very first professional headshot. I was newly sober. I was a single mother. This is my daughter. She's a big part of my story. That was us going to on a field trip. One of the reasons I got my real estate license was because I needed to make money. And I wanted to be with my daughter. I wanted to go on all of her field trips. I didn't want to leave her with babysitters and stuff. And doing real estate gave me the option of setting my own schedule. So as a real estate agent, I got very active and involved with promotion and marketing. When I was with RE/MAX, I brought the hot air balloon to a couple of different events. Boys and Girls Club did a couple of events with them, lots of kids. Bringing the hot air balloon for media. I was with Century 21 for a while, and we did a show called the Real Estate Road Show. That was one of our sets. I was very creative with being, with marketing, with getting out and being seen, which actually led me to doing HGTV. I did 2 shows for them. The second one was House Hunters. And I also, with my first big commission check, bought my dream car, which was 64.5 Mustang convertible. And with that car, I started doing car shows. And with the car shows, we had cars showing up with a $20 bill in their hand to register. And we weren't doing the car shows to try to make a couple $100. We were doing them to promote our business and to get out and be seen and bring the media and all that stuff. We were doing it for business purposes at the time. Over time, it developed into social responsibility being the right thing to do. But these cars and having that money come in from the car owners and having $1,000 here and $1,000 there to donate, I started giving it to nonprofits and started becoming rather well known for doing what we call cause marketing for profits with causes in mind. And the car shows kind of branched out to doing a lot of other things. This was a diaper drive that I did to help women coming off of opioids in New England. We gathered up 8,000 diapers. This was a coat drive that I did for Jacksonville Real Estate Investor Association. We got together to teach them how to do cause marketing. This was another business owner that I worked with to do marketing for her business with causes in mind. We noticed that not only was helping causes and being socially responsible, not only was it a lot of fun, not only was it the right thing to do, but it's really good for business, smart for business. So I stepped out of being a realtor. I stepped out of a very lucrative real estate career. I was following my heart and doing something that would give me the freedom to be able to move around the country and not be necessarily stuck to one geographical area like real estate agents are. So I helped this real estate company owner do something for Habitat for Humanity. We created a group called Realtors for Recovery, and we're helping with the opioid crisis in New England. Did coat drives in Boston. Gosh knows it's awfully cold up there. Did different events for animals and poker runs for our veterans and packed boxes for our heroes overseas. You see, this was all happening for years. And then about 4 years ago, it was December of 2019, I learned about charitable gifting of real estate. And I thought, holy cow, with all of this real estate and all of this nonprofit fundraising, how have I never heard of this before? And so I thought, why don't we create a certification program for real estate agents that can give them an honest to God niche, different, unique sales proposition that other realtors don't even know about. And so over the summer of 2020, I got together with some other experts, and that's exactly what we did. We created Certified Charitable Real Estate Specialist. And then last year, our book came out. And then at the end of last year, we got 3-hour CE course accredited in Florida. So the book, Real Estate is Hot, Fundraising is Not, as I mentioned in the beginning, you can get the digital copy for free or get an autographed copy from me. It's kind of the go-to. It's the workbook. It's the pamphlet. It's the holy grail of how to leverage real estate for real change. And in April, we have List a Legacy Listing Month, which is kind of a public service announcement. And then I travel the country in my RV. That's a 5-foot image of the book on the side of the RV here in Florida. Yahoo Finance wrote an article about us and what we're doing. This was the Business Observer when the book launch happened in June of 22. This story was written, and from this story, Goodwill called us and asked us to do a talk for their 200 nonprofits. So that's what we've been doing. Now, this is a nonprofit in Sarasota. I went and met with them a couple of years ago, and the owner or the founder of the nonprofit was also the owner of a real estate company and also owned dozens of properties. So he ended up donating one of his properties to help with the homeless in Sarasota. And that's what brings us to today, friends. The fact is, this has been around for over 100 years. $9 billion a year is donated to the nonprofit world through gifts of real estate, but nobody had bothered to shine a light on it until I saw it 4 years ago, and here we are. So question is, what would the nonprofits that you care about, the nonprofits you care about, or even if you don't care about them, the ones in your community, the ones in your marketplace where you would like to have more listings, what would they do with an average of 600,000? And the reason we ask that specific number is because that is the average. That is the average equity that comes from a piece of real estate when it is donated on behalf of any nonprofit. Now, there are nonprofits, 1.5 million nonprofits in this country, 300,000 in California, 200,000 in Texas, 168,000. When we did this screen a year ago, it was 160,000 in Florida. Now it's 168,000. Friends, they are popping up like popcorn all over the country. There's at least 1.5 million nonprofits in this country. And just here in Florida, just to give some numbers, an example to how you make money listing donated real estate. There is 2,400 nonprofits per county on average. Now, I'm in Orange County right now. There's at least 9,000 nonprofits. In Tampa, there's 11,000 nonprofits. In Jacksonville, there's over 8,000 nonprofits, but there's 2,400 per county in the state. So average agent does about a tri-county area, give or take. So there's about 7,200 nonprofits in your marketplace if you're in Florida. That's on average. It could be 30,000. What if 10% of them, 1 out of every 10, what if 1 out of every 10 got a gift of real estate? Now, that might be kind of pie in the sky right now. 10 or 20 years from now, that's going to be the norm. What if it was 3%, 3 out of 100 that got a gift of real estate? What if we just keep it really conservative and say 1% of the nonprofits in your marketplace were to get a gift of real estate, that would be 72 gifts of real estate. Now, these are just averages, but look at these numbers. 600,000 in equity on average would bring $43 million into your community. If you don't think that would help your business, if even half of that, if even 10% of that came into the community because of your efforts, you would have more business than you would know what to do with, not just from the gifts of real estate, but from all the people that would want to work with you and interview you and have you come speak at their Rotary and their board meeting about this. And if you got commission on that, you're talking about a big chunk of change. And that 600,000 is the equity that was pulled. That's not the list price. The list price could be something like this property. What if it was a $7.5 million property and only 600,000 was given to the nonprofit world, but you got paid a commission on 7.5 million? Now, here's some statistics about this. 1917, US government said, hey, cash, gold, stocks, real estate. When you donate to a 501c3, you get a major tax write-off. And when it is an appreciated asset more than cash, the tax benefits are astronomically bigger. $9 billion with a B is donated to the nonprofit world on behalf of gifts of real estate. Average of 600,000. Here's why this is such a big deal. Nonprofits historically are asking for cash. It's way easier to just get a check. As a matter of fact, if a nonprofit is offered $500 cash or the deed to a property worth $500,000, 99% of the time, they will take the $500 in cash and say no to the real estate. It is true. It's happening. Ask any nonprofit. They'll tell you they won't take real estate. And we don't think they should. We don't think that they should, but you'll hear today what you can do to help them get the proceeds from the real estate. Because real estate is hot. Fundraising, let's face it, let's be real honest, let's say it right out loud. Fundraising sucks. It might be fun to do a golf tournament. It might be great to bake cookies for 4 days leading up to a cookie sale. But ultimately, wouldn't it be nice to just fund them, just get them the money that they need? So you might be asking yourself, okay, great. If this is all true, and this has been happening for 100 years, then why have I never heard of it before? Why have realtors not been taught about it? That's a great question. And why are the nonprofits struggling and suffering and hurting and closing and spending 70% of their time on fundraisers if this is an option? Well, in order to answer these questions, it would be really helpful for you to understand the 3 ways that a property owner can benefit a nonprofit with the proceeds from real estate. Now, this is just a real high bird's eye view. This doesn't get into all the charitable remainder trust and DAFs and all the complicated things. We're talking about the big blocks of how this works. So the first way is if the donor, the property owner, sells their property, real estate or for sale by owner, doesn't matter. They sell their property, they pay all their taxes and commissions and expenses and give the proceeds to the nonprofit world. You see, the problem with that is that the government's going to get more tax money than they deserve, period. Which means that the donor is receiving the least amount of tax deductions, which also deduces that the nonprofit is getting the least amount of donation because there's the least amount of money left over. So this is old-fashioned. It's what people do when they don't know any better. It's what people do when they're just too lazy to figure it out. Now, so this is the worst way. It's the worst way for everyone involved except the government. If you work for the government and you love the government and you want job security, then please continue to do it this way. But if you actually want to help the nonprofits and get paid a full commission as a realtor, let's keep listening. Okay, so, this is another example. Look, this move is driven by a $15 million donation. This was a piece of real estate that was donated. Happening all over. All right, the second way is if the property owner tries to donate the real estate directly to the nonprofit that they want to benefit. So let's give you a scenario. Let's say that there is a veteran group in Texas, and the donor lives in California, and they own a condo in Florida. And the donor in California tells the veteran group in Texas, hey, I got this condo in Florida. It's appraised at $1 million. There's a $200,000 mortgage, and I want $200,000 cash in my pocket. But once that $400,000 is taken care of, veteran group, you can have the rest. Well, here's what we know. That if that nonprofit were to try to take title, they would be on the hook for paying off mortgages and giving cash to the donor. They would be responsible for the maintenance and the tax and the insurance and it's in Florida and it's hurricane season. What about that? What if the donor decides last minute that they want to give half of it to another nonprofit? And now they want the veteran group to do all that work and share it. So the nonprofits, not only do they not have the time to deal with a piece of real estate across the country, not only do they typically not have the talent, and I was just sharing with a client before I came on this video, I sit on a board with presidents of boards of real estate and owners of real estate companies. We got all the talent in the world, including the person that wrote the book on this. And even still, I would never suggest that the nonprofit that I sit on the board actually take the real estate. Now, I'm teaching them to do exactly what I'm teaching you to do today, but typically nonprofits don't have the talent, and they certainly don't have the treasure. They don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars laying around for the what ifs and the holding costs, etc. So what we know to be a fact, 99.9% of nonprofits just won't take real estate. It is the hardest way. Hard to do it. Now, tomorrow on the master class, which I'm going to invite you to again and again to take a deep dive with us, there are going to be people on that master class who actually help nonprofits do it this way. And they are so excited to work with us and learn how we do it, just like Jim Wooten, who wrote the book, Real Estate Gift. I'll show you how to get his book too. So, worst way, hardest way. That, my friends, is why we, the Real Agents of Change, were created. That is why legacy listings, listing legacy is a no-brainer. Now, here's the thing. Donors are a yes. Donors, when it is the scenario that suits them, not donors that are convinced, not donors that are sold, pushed, pulled, or persuaded, donors that are educated, informed. When they are cash conservative and asset abundant. cash conservative, asset abundant, they are a yes. And 80% of the time, it's because it's what they want to do. They're 70 years old and they love the animals. They're 85 and they're a veteran and they want to help their brothers and sisters. They do it for altruistic reasons, and 20% of them do it because it is a great tax write-off. And here's what the donors deserve to know about this, and you. The property can be anywhere. So in our scenario, we've got a nonprofit in Texas, we've got a property owner in California, and there's the condo all the way over in Florida. So it doesn't matter where the property is. It doesn't matter what type it is, residential, commercial, raw land, condo, 3-family, strip mall, restaurant, storage facility, hospital, don't matter. They're everywhere. And it can go to any nonprofit or multiple nonprofits. And if you don't even know what nonprofit you want to give it to, put it in a donor advised fund. We teach you all that at the master class. Now, these are some nonprofits that do have their own real estate department. God bless them. They have stepped up and said, you know, our people deserve, the people that we serve deserve to have 6 times the housing and the food and the rescue and the help. And we can do that through real estate. So these organizations have a real estate department. They are, because I say 99.9% can't and won't. Well, there is that little tiny itty bitty little percentage that do. Why are we showing you this? Because if you're interested in this at all, of course you're going to do your own due diligence. Go do some Googling and you'll see. And see, here's the thing. The donors you know, the clients you have, the human beings that are cash conservative and asset abundant, they're Googling too. And when they find Cars for Kids or the Nature Conservancy or a DAV, they can donate their real estate and get the tax deduction they're looking for. Bravo for these organizations for being smart enough to do some SEO and to let people know. Here's the problem for you and me, though. Your church isn't going to get funded. Your animal rescue league isn't going to get a penny of that. These organizations do it for themselves and the handful of nonprofits that they work with. You're not going to get your full commission, and you're not going to get the brilliance of a cause marketing campaign to let people know so that you can attract more business. So nonprofits are saying no to real estate 99% of the time because it's so complicated. It is so damn risky. They have it right in their gift acceptance policies that they don't take real estate. No way, no how. And they don't have the capital. Even if they have the author of the book and owners of real estate companies on their board, who's going to pay for all of it? They're just not going to do it. So at long last, the reveal. Let me share with you the win-win-win. Win-win-win-win-win-win-win for everyone. And here's why. As it is positioning you as the hero, it is a win for the donor. First and foremost, no capital gains tax on that which they donate. They get a major tax deduction based on the appraised value off of their adjusted gross income. We get into this in much more detail in the master class. They can give smarter when they give from their appreciated assets, that 43% of their wealth instead of the 3% pocket change. It's smarter for them. And ultimately, they want to do the right thing. They are 70, 80, 90 years old. They know that they can't take the deed with them to heaven. They know that the pearly gates and the golden streets in heaven have enough real estate. It doesn't need their office building. They want to leave legacy. They want to do the right thing. Now, the nonprofits it's a win for, they can bring in 5 times what they would with cash only. Jackie Franey and the Nature Conservancy has been taking real estate for decades. And they know that the same donors on their donor list will give 3 to 7 times more. when they can get from their assets. And as Matt at the University of Oregon says, you don't even need any new donors. They're already right there. The assets are in your donor list. And now that we're teaching real estate agents and bringing financial advisors and realtors and nonprofits and wealth managers and CPAs and auto dealerships and insurance companies and dog walkers and network marketers, now that we're bringing them all into this big melting pot stew of marketing together with causes in mind, the donors are a plethora. They're everywhere. Now, realtor, make money listing donated real estate. You get a full commission to list the donated real estate. And the reason we say it like that is because we want you to know, just because people are giving real estate away and just because nonprofit is involved, that doesn't mean we want you to cut your commission. That doesn't mean we want you to give 10% of your commission. We're not looking for a donation. We want to pay you what you're worth. And 87% of your marketplace will choose you over the competition. Imagine right in your listing packet, you have a form, you have a document, you have a flyer that says, Certified Charitable Real Estate Specialist. I am certified and designated to help you and your nonprofit get funded through gifts of real estate. Bam, got a seal right on it. So whether your potential clients want to introduce you to the board of their nonprofit, whether they know somebody that's cash conservative and asset abundant or not, they will hire you over the competition. Bob, the realtor, is mailing out the refrigerator magnet with the football schedule on it. You are helping to bring hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars into the community through real estate. Football schedule magnet, philanthropist, socially responsible, leaving legacy for everyone involved. So you are making money, making a difference. You're putting money in your pocket instead of taking money out of your pocket to support the nonprofits you care about. Let me say that again. You can put money in your pocket by supporting your nonprofits that you care about instead of taking money out of your pocket to support them. That just sounds really good. Okay. So the first way is the worst way. Taxes are paid, donor gets the least benefit, nonprofit gets least money. No, thank you. Second way, nonprofits taking on all the risk, time, talent, and treasure out the window. 99% won't do it, period. Not even going to happen. It's too hard. This way, we have experts. We have a third-party expert that is a 501c3, which is why the donor gets their tax deduction. We get into all the details of the master class. If you can't make it to the master class tomorrow, if you register for it, we will send you the recording. Only this time, not next time, not last time, this time. So this is why it is risk-free. There is no money out of pocket to handle these transactions for the nonprofits. There is capital available to enhance the value of the property if that's needed. Now, notice in our example, our donor with the condo in Florida had a $200,000 mortgage. If that wasn't free and clear, doesn't have to be. And they wanted $200,000 cash in their pocket. They didn't have to donate the full value. They can decide how much of it they want to donate. The donor receives all the tax benefits. Most cases in 30 days or less. They're off the deed. They got their money, their mortgage is paid off, and they're done. Even this time of year, no matter what the market is, even if the property isn't going to close until next spring, does not matter. They still get their tax deduction now. Wake up. Listen, Listen, Linda, did you guys ever see that video? God, about 10 years ago, my daughter tortured me with that. Listen, Linda. This is not what you've heard of before. This is not how you've done it in the past. This is not that risky, time-consuming, horrible thing that you've heard of. This is different. So in this scenario, the nonprofit world receives the maximum donation, and any and all nonprofits, the one you love, the church you sit at, the homeless shelter that you volunteer at on Thanksgiving Day, the school that your daughter or your son goes to, the people that are saving children from human trafficking, all of them are eligible for this program. My battery is running low. Win, win, win. This is what you came here to learn about. This couple, 129 million 2 years ago. What a great Halloween gift that was. Now, you can be the go-to. You can be a certified charitable real estate specialist for all. I'll show you where to look it up. Find out how many nonprofits are in your area. You can be the go-to specialist for all of them. High net worth clients, that realtor that they like, that they've been working with for 30 years, I promise you, she doesn't know about this. Generous multiple property owners all over the country, they need to know how this works. If they're in your market, you list it. If it's not in your market, you get a referral fee, period. Hard stop. Okay, you can be the community leader. Look, socially responsible, 87% of consumers will hire you for being socially responsible. And it doesn't have to be just for one nonprofit. You can help them all. Make a real difference in your community. When you're the industry expert, think about the hundreds of CPAs and attorneys and financial professionals and title companies. They don't know how this works. You can be the go-to specialist for them. And what if you only have 1,000 nonprofits in your marketplace? Every one of them has staff and volunteers and friends and family and followers and social media and email lists. Friends, they all need a buyer agent, a selling agent, someone to help them with the investment. Everybody at church knows 5 different realtors. They're all sitting there on Sunday with you. But when you're the one not giving them a football schedule, but you're the one that is helping that church to find hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars in donations from real estate, why would any of them work with any other agent? Obviously, they're going to want to work with you. So you can be the only realtor or the only CPA or the only anything, but on this video, it's about realtors helping property owners to give smarter. You can help any of these nonprofits and your communities to leverage real estate for real change. Another example, this was a golf club that was donated to this university. So just be the solution, because your company doesn't know how this works. The causes you're with, your community, man, can you ride in on a white horse or be quiet and in the background? You don't have to be the big mouth that some of us are, but you can be the solution. You can be the voice of reason to help them do 6 times what they are wanting to do, and you get paid to do it. This property was donated 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago now, in Rhode Island. All right, here's one of our favorite stories. We're going to wrap it up. Berkeley Humane Society, one guy donated 12 lots in December of 21. He got his tax deduction within 2 weeks, of donating the property because you get the tax deduction the day you donate it. Then it was listed. And when it sold in April, that nonprofit got over $400,000 and they were flabbergasted. Can we get another donation? They said, of course you can. Just tell your donors, just let them know. And friends, here's how the conversation goes. Here's me with my old-fashioned phone. Mary, thank you so much for your donation at the last golf tournament. Every dollar helps these animals. We so appreciate you. Listen, just want you to know, we just found out that nonprofits like ours can get funded in a big way from real estate. I don't have a clue how it works, not really a real estate expert, but I do know it's happening and that it does work. So we're just letting everybody know, whether it's your real estate or whether you share it, video or something on social media for us, just spreading the word. And a second donation came in and it sold in August and they got another $600,000. One nonprofit, 2 donations, 6-month period, $1 million. That's how it works. So you can be a specialist. When you become the specialist, you come to the master class for free. You come to the master class as often as possible because just like anything else, repetition helps us understand. Listening to it more than one time is really smart thing to do. This is so simple, but it's so foreign from what we're used to talking about. We're used to giving 10% of our commission. Now we're going to get paid a full commission to give the nonprofit hundreds of thousands of dollars. What? How does that even work? Don't worry about it. We'll teach you. So the master class is on the 3rd Tuesday of the month every month. Happens to be tomorrow at the time of this recording, and it happens to be our 3-year anniversary, and we want you to come. Now, when you are a specialist, you can also bring 2 guests. Tomorrow, you can bring as many people as you want. It's our anniversary, and we want to celebrate. But typically, not everybody is allowed to come for free, so you do get to bring 2 VIP guests for a whole year, which is about an $1,100 value. You get certified. You take a test, you get your certificate. Now you can use the logo. It's another series of letters behind your name on your business card. Not that any of us have a business card anymore, but you know what I mean. And you get promoted on our website. So with the specialist, not only can you come live to the masterclass, but you get the recording. So you can listen to it anytime you want, many times as you want, workbook, the exam, the licensing and agreement for a year. It's $97 renewal after that, brand guidelines, resource links, etc. So come to the masterclass. Getting certified is $400, not a huge deal. Just like any other real estate real estate designation, right? It's $400 and then $97 a year afterwards. But what's important is the hundreds of thousands, the millions of dollars that you can help bring into your community. And not only that, it is the social responsibility that your marketplace sees you doing. With or without a donation of real estate, people want to work with someone who is socially responsible. You know it. You work with people and companies that are socially responsible. StarKist Tuna back in the 90s put right on their tuna can, dolphin safe. They were charging 10 cents more per can. They were selling twice as much because they were saving the dolphin. The consumers were saying to their friends, you better not buy that other brand. StarKist is saving the dolphins. So they actually got the community helping to promote it for free. People were paying more and promoting it for free for that company. See, that's what happens for real estate agents with this, because I promise you, even your mom doesn't want to share your open house. Even your husband doesn't want to share your new listing in his feed. But when your social media post is talking about how you are a specialist that no one's heard of, that can help that veteran group, that Boys and Girls Club, that Habitat for Humanity, that church, that is something that people will share. My name is Cammie C.E. Baker. I'm the author of the book. We will be teaching the master class tomorrow. Look in the comments and you'll see the link to come for free. And even if you can't make it because it's last minute right now, if you at least register, The Rock, I'll tell you what it is. See how it says The Rock right there? TheRock.com/Cammie Baker will get you the digital book for free. TheRock.com/VIP will get you registration for the masterclass. And even if you can't come tomorrow, you'll get the recording this one time. And even if you can squeeze in 30 minutes, it is our history that when people sit in for 30 minutes, they rearrange their schedule so they can stay longer. It is good information. It is mesmerizing. You have aha after aha. And oh my God, I had no ideas right there in the master class. And our goal as the rock stars we have become, is to move the needle from 9 billion a year to 10 billion, 11 billion. Experts like Dr. Russell James and others who've been teaching this topic for decades say that 9 billion could, should, would, will be 29 billion a year with a little bit of education, a little bit of information. With big mouths like ours, spreading the good word, you can be a part of moving that needle so that more animals are fed, more veterans are not homeless, more of all of the missions can be fulfilled. Hope to see you tomorrow. Thank you.